r/rules horror. Hosted by u/Klawtwo&u. The Eyes Game. The Eyes Game. We're terribly sorry for the delay in releasing yet another of our rituals to help one become attuned to themselves. Our company has been under fire from countless lawsuits since our last few uploads, forcing us to reconsider some of the wording used in these guides. Do you ever consider how others perceive you? It's difficult for humans to comprehend how the outside world views their actions or character, resulting in much anxiety that plagues these modern ages. Fret no more. This guide should provide you with the ability to understand how someone, something, or society in general views you. Whether you use it to find out if your crush thinks you're cute, or if you just want a general idea of how strangers view you, these steps are the answer to all you seek. While this guide can be used to see yourself through someone else's eyes, we must warn you of the progressive dangers. For those who only wish to see themselves through the lens of society and strangers, this game poses the least amount of danger. For those who find themselves looking into the minds of specific individuals, we warn that the closer this individual is to you mentally, the potential of more damage and danger is increased. The rules. 1. Similar to our prior guides, we recommend you find a small and vacant room. The room should have a number of doors and windows equal to the number of eyes you want to observe you. For those who desire the insight of strangers or society, we recommend a room with only a single door. 2. Remove any electrical appliances in the room, including light fixtures. Instead, provide a large candle that will be placed in each corner of the room. Do not light them until you are fully prepared to begin the game. 3. Bring a small cot into the room and put it on the wall opposite the door/window. If the room has multiple doors or windows on various walls, place it in the center of the room. Be aware that having multiple walls to watch will increase the amount of danger you are in without benefit. It is recommended that you find a room with the amount of doors and windows you desire on a singular wall for the best chance of retrieval. 4. After the room has been prepared, wait for the sky to darken before beginning. It is advised to begin around 1 to 3 a.m. The earlier you begin, the more knowledge you obtain. Still, we recommend you ensure that it is absolutely dark out before you light the first candle. Failure to do this may result in a spatial anomaly, wherein you will be unable to leave the room and re-enter the world you originally came from. 5. Once you are positive that it is safe to begin, light the candles in this order: northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. Once done, you should notice the doors/windows are now closed if they were open prior. Do not open them. 6. You must now go and lay in the cot. This cot should not be elevated like a normal bed and instead lie flat on the floor. Your feet should face the doors/windows. Do not fall asleep. Instead, you will hear a strange whispering erupt from behind the barriers. Answer them with the full name of whoever you wish to view yourself through. Make sure to wait 5 seconds between each name if you have multiple people in mind. Those who wish to view themselves through strangers or society simply say, "I am myself, but who am I?" 7. Now that you are prepared, remain silent. You must not speak another word until daylight breaks and ends the game. Speaking would mean giving them the ability to physically interact with you, which tends to have gruesome consequence. 8. Over time, you will begin to see the doors/windows begin to crack open. You will feel a strong sense of presence behind these barriers. You may even begin to see shapes flicker in and out of them. Remain calm. As long as you stare at the darkness seeping through the cracks, they cannot fully enter. Over time, you should begin seeing distinct eyes staring back at you from these crevices. Make sure to maintain eye contact with any pairs of eyes you see until they return to the darkness. This is partially why having multiple doors or windows tends to lead to dire consequences. It is also why having to look around at multiple walls can result in the death of the participant. 9. Throughout the night, you may find yourself becoming drowsy. It is vital that you do not fall asleep. If you feel as though this drowsiness isn't natural, you should slowly rise from your cot. It is likely one of your candles has been snuffed out and will require you to relight it. You will find a match laying just outside of the door, inches from the darkness on the other side. If you are in a room with multiple doors and windows, it will appear in front of a random location, barely outside of the darkness. This is the only time you must go against what you've been told to do prior. As soon as you leave the cot, do not make eye contact with the darkness beyond any of your barriers. You should be safe as long as you don't peer into the darkness or exit the room. Return to the prior rules upon relighting the candle and laying back down. As soon as daylight breaks, you may find yourself immediately put into a deep sleep. This is natural. Enjoy the rest as your mind is given pieces of memories that do not belong to you. The longer you played and the more people you ask to watch you, the longer your rest will be. Upon waking, You should be able to distinctly think of the persons you chose and intuitively know their thoughts and opinions on you. Congratulations! No more shall you be left wondering what others think of you. Instead, you can confidently approach people knowing their full thoughts on you. And with luck, you won't have to redo this guide in order to keep up. Instead, you should intuitively know what the others think of you over the course of your interactions regardless of their words. For the unlucky, it is possible that you will have to sleep with the light on and in a bed that isn't elevated from the ground. You will know if you must do this if you wake up in the middle of the night at some point and notice your doors and windows are fully opened. We apologize for the inconvenience of this, though it is a rare event that doesn't occur to all participants. We hope that you continue to support our organization and its efforts to provide you with guides that can help you ease the mental stress of daily life. Being a human is hard, and it's important to have the opportunity to make it easier. r/rules horror. Hosted by u/atlas7674. The Gentleman's Games. If you're here, congratulations. You've made it to the consortium. I hope it wasn't too easy to find. I tip my hat to you, competitor, and wish you luck in achieving full membership. Please note that now that you have entered, you must compete at least 3 times to receive your ranking. Failure to do so will result in your protection from She Who We Dare Not anger being revoked. If you have made it here accidentally, or have gone through less than 6 trials before reaching this place, loudly declare I appear to have forgotten my hat. Bow once, and walk back through the tunnel backwards. If she is not busy, the black cat will guide you out. She is the only thing that you can trust. Always believe her words over these rules unless she speaks in rhymes. If she does, ask her to repeat herself. If she rhymes again, ask if she has forsaken you. If she has, you will die. Do not turn around while in the tunnel. Always face the consortium door. Looking at them is a breach of etiquette. Blink as little as possible while in the tunnel. They will only speak while your eyes are closed, and keeping them open will make it less likely for them to speak. If they begin to speak, keep your eyes closed until they finish. Opening your eyes will be considered a breach of etiquette. If anyone other than me invites you to return, politely excuse yourself, unless they offer tea. If they do, you must enter. Request Earl Grey if you are unwilling to undergo another trial, which will forever disqualify you from returning to the consortium. Otherwise, request any form of tea other than boba. If I invite you back, order boba tea. You must drink your tea, thank your host, and leave. If a host invites you for tea and they wear only one glove, you are not a guest, you are prey. There is a reason why the hosts do not have lips. It makes it easier for them to bite. If another host other than me offers tea, you may decline. If they mention a silver bangle, roll your eyes into your head for 10 seconds. Rules for the game. 1. Tip your hat to your opponent before the game. Sip your tea and set it aside as well. If your teacup is empty, or you finish your tea in one sip, be prepared to remove your opponent's hat. Do not let them see that you have finished your tea. If you see your opponent finish their tea, you are within your rights to kill them. 2. If it is a stationary game, do not break eye contact unless absolutely necessary. Your opponent will perceive this as an insult unless they can see the reason why you have broken eye contact. 3. If it is a game that involves moving, do not establish eye contact unless absolutely necessary. 4. Silver spheres are safe to touch, copper spheres are only safe to pick up using an issued handkerchief. Copper spheres will vibrate slightly until the game ends. Do not let them touch your skin. When collecting a silver sphere, you must toss it into the air and then catch it. If you fail to catch it, run. I may be forced to chase if the sphere is dented. I may not leave the consortium. Spheres will add towards your credit score. If you lose, give half of your collected spheres from this game, round it up, to the victor. If you underpay, your opponent is entitled to a fraction of your soul equal to twice the amount of spheres you owe. 5. Do not consume any food or drinks during the game aside from the tea at the start of the match. This includes any insects which may attempt to enter your mouth. 6. If your opponent breaks a rule, close your eyes and try not to let what you hear disturb you. Any reaction invites their fate to be visited upon you as well. 7. Do not cough, sneeze, burp, or hiccup during the game. Doing so will immediately disqualify you. If you must gasp or laugh, cover your mouth afterwards. 8. Depending on the nature of the game, be prepared to remove your monocle. Only do this if the only other option to escape would involve removing your hat. You are now on probation until the next ceremony. All benedictions will not function while under probation. 9. If your hat falls off, or you remove it while in decent company without being instructed to by me, I will not make it quick. None of my benedictions can protect you. Please understand that I have no choice in this matter. You are my guest and responsibility while in the consortium, and your conduct reflects upon me. 10. If your opponent claims to have never lost, allow them to win. Do not let them know you have allowed them to win, and do not make it obvious. Make the final score as close as possible. If the difference between your scores is higher than a single-digit number, they will grow suspicious. This loss will not be counted against your ranking for determining your benediction. If your opponent bears a lion emblem, immediately kill yourself. You will be resurrected in a guest room after 77 years. 11. Do not speak using any run-on sentences or improper grammar. Do not stutter, especially if your competition is a debate round. The bakers will excuse stuttering, but most will not. Rules for navigating the consortium. 1. You may take our sphere loans to purchase benedictions if you are short on spheres. Do not take out any loan unless you are willing to pay with more than just spheres. 2. Use of the library is prohibited at night. If you enter to return a book and the black cat is not present, do not browse the shelves unless what you are looking for is worth the risk. Opportunities to enter the library are sparse, but opportunities for the bookworms to feed are sparser. 3. Always leave alone. Do not leave the consortium in a group unless you are legally married by an Abrahamic priest to the person you are leaving with. Never leave at night or near sundown. If you cannot get home before nightfall, use a guest room. 4. Never leave a door between any rooms open at night. This will grant them entry, and as such will terminate your membership and protection from she who we dare not anger. 5. Any use of telepathy is a breach of etiquette. If any telepaths speak to you in your mind, you are free to demand their true name and report them to me. They will not bother you again. Do not report them if they request a favor. 6. The Court of Stars is inviolate. The Court of Stars is inviolate. The Court of Stars is inviolate. 7. Benedictions must be refreshed by spending spheres once a month, otherwise they will fail to work outside of the consortium. 8. If you have not received a Class 4 benediction, do not tip your hat to any ascendant. Bow instead. They will behead you if you attempt to end your bow before being acknowledged. If the ascendant invites you to stargaze with them, accept. 9. Do not drink any tea that you have prepared yourself. Do not drink anything other than tea or water. 10. If any recruiter offers for you to join their house, refuse unless their house name begins with the same letter as your surname or your mother's maiden name. Ask them to write the name. Gilded betrayers are forbidden from writing capitalized letters, and as such, the house name will be in all lowercase. House benefits can somewhat mitigate the risks of participation in the gentleman's game. Houses are not responsible for overt breaches of etiquette or hat removal. Best of luck. By entering and competing in the gentleman's games, you do agree with your heart, mind, and soul that if you breach these rules the consortium is granted permission to convert your soul into silver spheres. Remember, once a gentleman, always a gentleman. You signed up for this when you entered the tunnel.